Good morning. Thank you for joining us today for the inauguration of Dr. Ann E. McCall as the 13th president of the College of Wooster. My name is Sally Staley. I'm a proud graduate of the class of 1978, and I'm currently the chair of the Board of Trustees at the college. On behalf of my fellow trustees, welcome to Wooster, and welcome to our Wooster students, faculty, staff, members of our alumni board, my fellow trustees, and the many, many alumni, family members, parents who are here in person today and joining us via live stream from around the globe. Welcome also to honored guests from the city of Worcester and surrounding communities, whose past support has helped found the University of Worcester 157 years ago, and whose partnership is critical to our continued success today. A very extra special Worcester welcome to Dr. McCall's many, many family members and friends who surround her and all of us here today, and to our guests who were selected as delegates by their own colleges, universities, seminaries, and academic associations. We thank you for joining us to celebrate Dr. McCall and commemorate this important event in the life of the college. It's also my honor to welcome our past presidents who've returned to campus for this historic occasion. Dr. Grant Cornwell, Worcester's 11th president, Dr. Sarah Bolton, Worcester's 12th president, and Dr. Wayne Webster, interim president this past academic year and president of Albion College. Dr. Cornwell is president of Rollins College, and Dr. Bolton, president of Whitman College, and of course, Dr. Webster at Albion College. Grant, Sarah, Wayne, thank you for your leadership, service, support. Your presence spans the 16 most recent years in the long history of the college, and to me and all of us, it signifies Worcester's enduring impact on all who study or work and teach and lead here. Lastly, I would like to recognize the other members of the platform party collectively and thank them for their participation in today's ceremony. Each person speaking on today's program has a unique tie to the college, the campus, our city, or a personal connection to Dr. McCall. We'll receive blessings from members of our religious community, greetings from alumni, greetings from the Worcester community, and from the academy. We'll hear a little bit about a tragedy of many years ago that transformed our campus and set us, though, on the path we've followed and are on today. And as always, we're inspired, and it always brings a tear to my eye to hear the talented members of our Worcester Pipe Band and Worcester Chorus. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter in the college's history, and I'm excited for our future. Thank you again for joining us as we formally install Dr. Ann E. McCall into the office of president and officially welcome her as the leader of our College of Wooster community. And now, please welcome the Reverend David Rice, trustee of the college, and the pastor and head of staff of First Presbyterian Church of Worcester, who will offer the invocation.
We gather this morning amid the visual splendor of fall color on this beautiful campus for a time of joyous celebration. We celebrate the legacy and unwavering stewardship of faculty, staff, administrators, trustees, and most importantly, our students, all of whom have sustained and enriched the College of Wooster for 153 or 57 years. And today we celebrate the inauguration of Dr. Ann McCall as our 13th president. Dr. McCall's gifts and accomplishments bring hope and a vision for the future of this institution, a future that promises excellence, freedom, curiosity, creativity, hospitality, and joy. As a part of this community, we welcome the spirit of wisdom and compassion and discernment to inspire Dr. McCall's leadership and to inspire all who cherish this college and strive for its thriving throughout the years to come. In acknowledging that this celebration is shadowed by violence and suffering in our world, as well as political turmoil at home, we are reminded of our urgent mission to nurture and equip graduates who are prepared and motivated to be decisive and compassionate leaders in their myriad fields of study and expertise, leaders who will make a profound difference for the well-being of our planet and all the living things it holds. As we begin this journey together, may the spirit of beauty, truth, and goodness bless the endeavors of President McCall and guide all of us into a vision of tomorrow where healing and wholeness and peace abound.
Angie Triplett will come and offer you greetings from alumni.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Angela Triplett, or Angie, or Trip, many different names. Go by Angela now often. But I'm class of 2006. I am the president of the Alumni Association and the Alumni Board. I have the honor of representing over 26,000 alumni around the world. We were inspired by the faculty, the staff that helped shape our Worcester campus experiences. Many of them sit before you today. As a whole, our alumni encompass thousands of artists, scientists, business and industry executives, medical professionals, and servant leaders. Though some faces may have changed from the faculty and staff that inspired us, many of them remain the same. It's the essence of Worcester that we all carry with us, that they are able to bring to us. As alum, we are proud of and uphold the values that were given to us by our college experiences. And as Worcester alum, as many of you know, we will never shy away of giving any or all details of our senior IS. Anyone willing to listen, or sometimes not, but we'll still push it on you, because we're proud of it. We know our student experience was no accident. Behind it all was thoughtful leadership, strategic partnership, and a steadfast commitment to excellence. Dr. McCall, we welcome you, your husband, Dr. Palat, and your entire family to the Scott's family. We know that these characteristics that built Worcester, the essence, will not change, but continue to advance and enhance through your leadership. As part of my role as Alumni Board President, representing my fellow alum, I'm here to help serve you, to help uplift and carry through your vision as you continue to develop it for the future of Wooster. I am certain all the work we will accomplish together, and I mean together. This is a partnership, you and the College of Wooster, the Board of Trustees, the alumni. We will hold hard and strong to build a strong, healthy future for the College of Wooster. Dr. McCall, on more than 26,000 alumni, it is my honor to welcome you to Wooster. Go Scots!
Gabe Tudor, Superintendent and CEO of the Worcester City School District, will offer greetings from the community of Worcester.
Good morning. It is my honor to be here with you today to officially welcome Dr. Ann McCall as the new president at the College of Wooster. Worcester City Schools is thankful for the service and support we receive from the college in the areas of research, service, and educational collaboration. I am excited to work with Dr. McCall and her team to strengthen this partnership and increase the impact that Worcester City Schools and the college can have together on this community. In working with families from the college, as well as the education department, it is evident that this institution has very high standards. Therefore, the fact that Dr. McCall has been selected to be the next leader of this institution of higher learning gives me much confidence in her ability and integrity. My family and I are still fairly new to the Worcester area. I don't know if I should keep going or not. So, okay. So. So my family and I are still fairly new to Worcester, and moving here 2 years ago when I became superintendent. It did not take long for us to recognize that it's a great community, and it really is, to live, work, and raise a family. We were welcomed with kindness and support, and I am confident that Dr. McCall and her family will have a similar experience. In reflecting on my transition to Worcester, I recognize that leadership transitions often lead to a mix of emotion, such as anticipation, hope, and perhaps a sense of uncertainty. With each new leader comes a fresh perspectives, unique talents, and renewed enthusiasm. I am certain that in our collective efforts, under the guidance of Dr. McCall, will undoubtedly lead to further growth and achievement for this community. I am excited to observe and support Dr. McCall's leadership and encourage us all to embrace this moment as a chance to grow and increase our collective impact on others. I perceive Worcester to be a community that represents many of the demographics of America. Worcester has industry, business, and diversity, specifically related to religion, politics, and socioeconomics. As a resident and parent in this community, I always say that I'm thankful that my kids have the opportunity to grow up here and experience a community with diverse perspectives. However, as a leader, these perspectives have the potential to create challenges that can lead to division and hostility. Simultaneously, these diverse perspectives create a unique and important opportunity as a leader to create an inclusive and welcoming environment where students and educators feel supported and empowered to learn, grow, and achieve their full potential. Starting with the leader, embracing diverse perspectives and fostering inclusion is an investment in the betterment of our community. It begins with the acknowledgement that each person, regardless of their background, has a unique and valuable contribution to make. When we come together with open hearts and open minds, we can achieve remarkable things here in Wayne County and beyond. If I have any advice for Dr. McCall, who has several more degrees than I do, as she embarks on her new role in this community, it is to lead and model with kindness in every situation. Kindness bridges gaps between generations, backgrounds, and experiences. It is a universal language that fosters understanding, empathy, and unity. Kindness can be shown in big moments and large groups, but I often find that the impact of kindness is greatest in the small moments, the one-on-one conversations, and the brief interactions. I can't imagine the things that Dr. McCall is juggling and thinking about as she starts this new leadership role. My encouragement to her is to be intentional with those small moments, to be present and kind, as they will have a big and broad impact. I am so grateful to have been invited to be here with you today to celebrate this new chapter for the College of Wooster. I look forward to continuing to work together to make a significant impact on Wooster and Wayne County. Dr. McCall, Wooster City Schools and I wish you nothing but the best as you embark on this leadership journey, and please know that we are here to support you. Thank you.
Gilda A. Barabino, President and Professor of Biomedical and Chemical Engineering from the Franklin W. Olin College of Engineering, will offer greetings from the Academy.
Good morning. President McCall, trustees, faculty, college leaders, staff, students, alumni, families, members of the community, and friends. Thank you so very much for this special opportunity to celebrate Dr. Ann McCall and her installation as the president of this extraordinary college. It is a true privilege to represent the greater higher education community here today, because not only is President McCall Ann a distinguished leader, she is also my friend. I came to know Ann over the 6 years that I served as a trustee on the board of Xavier University of Louisiana, my undergraduate alma mater, and she served as Xavier's provost and senior vice president for academic affairs. Our connection was immediate and deep. You may wonder, what do a humanist and an engineer have in common that would bond them so closely together? A scholar of French and comparative literature on the one hand, and a scholar of medical, biological, and chemical engineering on the other. And I will tell you, among other things, Ann and I share a lifelong intellectual curiosity, a passion for equity and social justice, and an unwavering commitment to inclusive excellence in education and research. We bonded over not only the academic affairs of Xavier, but also the state of higher education, the connections between the liberal arts and STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and the preparation of future leaders. I recall in one of my first meetings with Ann, I challenged her on what I viewed as an institutional record on faculty diversity that could have been better. I wanted to know why the record wasn't better, and importantly, I wanted to know what she was going to do about it. And in record time, and you all know this to be true who know Ann, I had my answer in Ann's walking the talk of faculty diversity. Under her leadership, Increases in the number of underrepresented faculty was dramatic, all while, as provost, Anne managed unprecedented catastrophes and implemented numerous new cross-cutting programs. What the Academy needs, what the College of Wooster needs, is embodied in Anne McCall, a courageous, creative, and impactful leader who has the ability to inspire, innovate, and disrupt for the common good. The Academy also needs the type of intellectual inquiry, discovery, and forward thinking brought to the liberal arts by the College of Wooster. As part of its inauguration series, you celebrated disruptions in the liberal arts, and you heard from scholars willing to push in new directions. I'd like to add my voice on new directions for the liberal arts, and for that matter, for my own field of engineering. The new direction, one that Anne and I have discussed at length and plotted on, so watch out. It's a true integration of liberal arts and STEM. In that integration, a humanistic lens is applied to STEM in a way that helps people gain a humanistic and ethical understanding of real-world problems and how to solve them. At Olin, a college founded in 1997 to transform engineering education, we are working on this integration by focusing on impact-centered education. Education that instills an equity ethic in students as it prepares them for impact with an emphasis on serving humanity. At Wooster, a college founded in 1866 to be a place of study for all, students are engaged in a liberal education involving mentored research that prepares them to become leaders of character and influence in an interdependent global community. Imagine a world where institutions of higher learning are truly a place for study for all, a place defined by a value-driven culture of learning by doing and collective activism in the service of humanity. The College of Wooster is a place where that type of imagination takes shape. In closing, I want to share my wish for the College of Wooster. We live in unprecedented times when our trusted institutions are often challenged. At this moment, I am called to remember this bit of wisdom from Archbishop Desmond Tutu. My humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be human together. This statement gives me hope. It is the hope of undergraduate education, the sort that you practice and experience here, where you recognize that only by working together, by being together in community, can we realize our shared humanity. I know that your president understands that deeply too. Dr. Anne McCall, President Anne McCall, is where she should be. There could not be a more appropriate leader for the College of Wooster at this time than my friend, Anne McCall. Congratulations to you, Anne, and the entire community of the College of Wooster. Thank you.
We'll now have the traditional presentation of the Key to Old Maine. by Jalen Hudson, our student, class of 23, president of Scott Council, Carly Jones, assistant director of the Academy Resource Center and secretary of the staff committee, and Jennifer Bowen, dean for curriculum and academic engagement, professor of mathematics, and chair of theater and dance. Welcome to the podium.
Wow, I feel so loved. How y'all doing today? Y'all didn't hear me. How are you guys doing today? All right, lovely. Good morning. It is our honor as representatives of the students, faculty, and staff to mark the inauguration of President McCall as a historic moment in our 157-year history in the College of Wooster community. On December 11, 1901, in the middle of the night, there was another historic moment in our history.
The main academic building of the then University of Worcester caught fire, while members of the college community watched in horror as the fire destroyed the building. The faculty, staff, and students, and the wider community of Worcester came together with new loyalty in this time of disaster, rallying, raising funds, and rebuilding. A year later, Cow Hall was reconstructed on the ashes of Old Main.
Upon inauguration, the president is presented with the key to Old Main, bent by the heat of the fire, but unbroken as a symbol of her authority and the continuity of Worcester's mission and heritage. President McCall, on behalf of the College of Wooster's students, staff, and faculty, it is our honor and pleasure to present this historic key, which will be soon entrusted to your care.
Our great thanks to Lisa Wong and the Wooster Chorus. On December 8th, 2022, the college announced that Dr. Ann E. McCall, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs at Xavier University of Louisiana, had been named Wooster's 13th president by unanimous approval of the Board of Trustees. That was a wonderful day. When searching for Wooster's new president, the Presidential Search Committee knew that leading this college would present a compelling opportunity to the right candidate. We also knew very soon after meeting Dr. McCall that she was the right candidate who embodied a formidable set of qualities we had been entrusted to find by Wooster's students, faculty, staff, alumni, college leaders, community leaders. Everyone had a voice. Her dedication to academic freedom, her commitment to inclusive excellence, and her clear understanding of the challenges facing all of higher education were immediately evident to us. Dr. McCall is passionately committed to the liberal arts and an inspiring advocate for expanding access to higher education for all who desire it. She began her role as president on July 1st of this year, and it was immediately evident that as a dedicated teacher and mentor, an internationally recognized scholar, and an experienced leader, she is the right person at the right time for our college. Now is the moment, finally, where we formally induct Dr. Ann McCall as president of the College of Wooster. Dr. McCall, please stand and join me. In accordance with Worcester's inaugural tradition, it is my duty on behalf of the Board of Trustees and also my personal honor to ask of you a pledge of fidelity. Do you, Ann McCall, solemnly promise that you will faithfully and to the best of your ability fulfill the duties and do the work of this college as you would answer to God?
I do.
This pledge has been given, and by the authority of the Board of Trustees, I deliver to you the key to Worcester's Old Main building as a symbol of your supreme authority over this college. Ann Elizabeth McCall is now the 13th president of the College of Wooster.
Thank you so much. Good morning, family of Scots. Good morning. Thank you, Chair Staley. Thank you, assembled fellow members of our board. I will honor the College of Wooster and the confidence you have placed in me as president. Please allow me to thank our elected and appointed public officials with us today. Your interest and support are vital to our success. Greetings and appreciation go as well to the former presidents of the College of Wooster, Presidents Cornwell, Bolton, and Webster, who have come back to campus to help celebrate this day. I'm grateful for all you contributed to making us who we are today, and I feel buoyed by your presence and support. Allow me to express gratitude to fellow college presidents, delegates, and representatives of membership organizations who have traveled for today's ceremony. Your time this weekend exemplifies the generous spirit of our profession. Business and community partners, alumni, friends of the college, students, staff, and faculty, thank you for making our college strong, vibrant. I value what you do for our community and knowledge, and I look forward to our continued work together. Finally, thanks go to my family and friends, with special thoughts for those who are no longer with us, and love to those who cannot be here today, most especially my brother Peter, his wife Amy, and my friends Nancy and Tatiana. Formally invested now as president, the first word that comes to mind, and that I also associate very closely with the College of Wooster, is gratitude. Being here today is a gift. Being a student here is a gift. Working here is a gift. This is true for all of us, even on the hard days. We find ourselves here thanks to our own abilities, commitment, efforts, and ambitions, to be sure. We also know that alone, they would not suffice. Our debt goes to those who mentored and encouraged us, took risks on us, and invested in us emotionally, intellectually, and when possible, financially. The same is true for the College of Wooster. Many, many people have been investing in our success for over a century and a half. I think of faculty who have created curricula, advised students, and undertaken research that illuminates understandings. Staff who have worked daily with our students, alumni and friends who have given not only expertise and time, but financial support destined for students they would never see, faculty whom they would never meet, buildings that they might not even see completed in their lifetime. Benefiting as we do from past gifts to our future gives us insight into the orientation of our work together, work that builds on history and is unequivocally future-oriented. Each of us carries the pain of private tragedies.
and many of us feel the burdens of disasters, atrocities, and injustices, some new, others deeply woven into our history, some well publicized, others ignored. Still, the College of Wooster calls upon us to see in each other and to feel through our environment extraordinary intergenerational confidence. That confidence fortifies our commitment to a purpose that I define today in 3 ways. To begin, it charges us to engage in free inquiry, especially when it's uncomfortable. Then to use what we learned to rethink what we thought we knew, and from there to fashion new disciplines that, as Dr. Gilda Barabino joins us, eschew the segregation of knowledge fields. This dynamic approach inspires students to want to know more today as they will tomorrow. Second, our college enjoins us as well to welcome an ever-expanding group of students into opportunities for knowledge creation and self-actualization, most especially to commit to their belonging when this disrupts structures and habits. And finally, the College of Wooster calls us to rekindle rich traditions of global dialogue with reshaped paradigms and structures. A few examples illustrate a heritage that we can call upon to propel us forward. First, and as many of you know, we celebrate a centennial this year, one that merits regular commemoration and reflection. Exactly 100 years ago, in 1923, the College of Wooster made history and headlines in the New York Times when William Jennings Bryan sought the moderatorship of the Presbyterian General Assembly. He ran on the platform of defunding our college and any others like it where faculty freely taught the theory of evolution. Thankfully for us, he lost to our own President Wishart, and Bryan's subsequent motion to cut off funding failed. This moment of high risk and vindication on a national stage merits remembrance, but of course it did not just happen. As an 1873 article in our university review shows, and thank you Denise Mombaran and Moira and Anna, as that article shows, evolution was a topic of debate since our founding, and it had been taught since 1881, more than 40 years before this issue by President Mateer. Support for the theory was not universal. Even so, the library building that was built in 1900 features Darwin on one of its ornamental medallions, right by Moses. Note that 5 men, 5 who served as president over this 40-plus year period, did not all agree with Dr. Mateer. And at one point, 18 years before Bryan's attack on the college, the board did consider his teaching. However, they ultimately declined to intervene, and instead, they decided, guess what? To invest in more scientific equipment so that these theories could be tested more. In other words, and we should be inspired by this, in the face of controversy, trustees doubled down on learning rather than shielding themselves, as some would have us do today, from discomfort. Yes, there were limits within our religiously affiliated college, but those guardrails were considered in the broadest way possible so that accepted ideas could be challenged, theories considered, evidence weighed, and disruptive understandings tested. The lessons for today are obvious. We are most ourselves, most true to our heritage, when we are intellectually open-minded and institutionally steadfast, both in moments of crisis and in the long-term disciplined work of scholarly, scientific, and artistic inquiry that reshapes knowledge and disciplines within the liberal arts and sciences. Our adoption of modern language teaching in 1870, that was radical, was followed closely by other new areas, namely sociology, political science, and economics, now considered mainstream. Today's Africana Studies program, with its roots in our early 1969 Afro-American Studies program, computer science, statistical and data science, and new global queer studies minor are part of the same tradition of questioning and producing knowledge freely, proposing and refining ideas, reviewing and modifying our offerings. We carry this heritage forward in other ways as well, including through our institutional membership in Scholars at Risk, a global network of colleges, universities, and organizations committed to academic freedom and providing temporary refuge for scholars facing grave dangers. We will continue to do as we have done since 1866 and weigh the appropriate balance between the conservation of cultural heritage with the work of going where discovery is taking us. Besides seeking external funding to reinforce signature areas such as archaeology, computer science, and the arts, and our expertise in Asia, we will explore degrees in public health, design, and leadership, as the academic program review just recommended. I will also propose to faculty and potential funders that we honor our tagline of independent minds working together by foregrounding and interrogating civic discourse and dissent as key components of human rights. I will query faculty interest in connecting sustainability with migration and justice studies, in bringing disciplines together for a social data science major, in creating a curriculum at the intersection of AI and philosophy, for example, or robotics and environmental engineering with the arts. We will reconnect with our history of graduate-level learning in areas that may include education, life sciences, communication studies and sciences and disorders, global media and public policy, and perhaps data sciences. This brings me to another trait I associate with the College of Wooster, a persistent readiness to expand access to our education. This does not mean that students with few financial means have ever enrolled easily in our college. About as soon as it was founded, the student newspaper shows articles from students writing about the need for scholarships, and we continue to seek financial support for talented, curious, motivated students who have all they need to succeed here except wealth. As for gender and racial equality of access, our founding president, Willis Lord, is well known for setting the tone when he announced in 1870 that Wooster would be accessible to all students without regard to race, color, or sex. And he came back to the question of gender equality in his farewell speech only 3 years later. This is a quote, "I hold to the perfect equality of man and woman in law, and I fully accept all the legitimate consequences of this view. These consequences would bring, I think, great social and civil benefits." I agree with that. This is not to say that women, African Americans, and students from other backgrounds have always felt embraced by the college. Emily Noyes, the first woman graduate in 1874, Annie B. Irish, our first woman PhD and faculty member, Clarence Beecher Allen, who in 1892 became our first African American graduate, and Ronald Takaki, one of only 2 Asian American students at the college when he graduated in 1961 and remembered as a founder of ethnic studies, may well have felt alone. We know that our path toward equality, equity, belonging, and justice is woefully incomplete. Nevertheless, the college's founding commitment to access and inclusion provides a touchstone that orients our work in building the future of the college. To be true to ourselves, we must redouble our outreach and invite new generations of students into our community, and do so potentially before, after or outside of a traditional path to higher education in liberal arts colleges. Finally, and as our Wooster community knows better than I, Wooster is most itself by being resolutely global in outlook and opportunity. By 1875, only 5 years after classes had started, graduates from our tiny college had left for missionary service in China, Alaska, Persia at the time, Colombia, and the West Indies. Children of missionaries stationed in other countries came to America and to Wooster for preparatory work in college, and the library at the time even included what was called a missionary alcove. Gordon B. Enders, the son of an American teacher in India, remembers Wooster from 1915 to 1917 as a place, and I quote, specialized in the training of American youth from Asian countries, with 50 such students living together in either Livingston Home for the men or Westminster Home for the women. Fast forward almost 40 years to 1952, when my friend Pamela Weinberg's mother, Elizabeth Heckel, enrolled in the college, the same October issue of The Voice that listed her as a dorm executive promoted what it called an Hindustani Khani event, and I quote, to be prepared and served by former missionaries to India and college girls selected from the 20 Wooster students who have lived in India. We were much smaller than we are today. The performative Orientalism of the affair can give us pause, and I'll pass on those details, but the languages, experiences, and insights of children who had been living abroad enriched everyone's education. They also laid the foundation for high mobility American and international students today, as well as our curricular emphasis on global perspectives. As part of our post-pandemic foundation, as part of our post-pandemic engagement in our vibrant, fragile world community, we will rebuild relationships and structures of exchange to create new learning experiences around the world that unite cohorts of students, invite them to new forms of scholarship, and help them grow for ethical leadership in a global context. There is much noise today around the intellectual, social, and financial value of the liberal arts. These debates are not new. Rather, they too are part of our tradition, resurfacing whenever knowledge and social contestation disrupt beliefs, habits, and norms. Make no mistakes, the debates are that loud because the stakes are so high. We must listen to critiques seriously, with respect and curiosity for the potential validity of contesting claims. As for polemical accusations, we must take them in stride as signs of our impact and persist in a purpose that has given the world alumni who strengthen their communities, heal the sick, start or lead major companies, teach, create art, work for justice, serve our nation, and international organizations. If you want to know the value of a College of Wooster education, just look at everyone around you in this room. It is with all this in mind that I commit myself to our work together at the College of Wooster and ask all of you for your help. I look forward to what we will do together next for our students and for the world. Thank you, and let's go Scots.
As we conclude this historic day in the life of the College of Wooster, I'd like to thank our platform party, our wonderful Wooster chorus and pipe band, and so many special guests who've joined us here today in person and virtually, our students, staff, faculty, alumni, families, and friends. Finally, congratulations again to President Ann McCall on your induction as Wooster's 13th president. Thank you for your inspiring words. Immediately after the ceremony, please join us for a community celebration luncheon in Lowry Center and for the other special events taking place this afternoon as part of Inauguration and Black and Gold Weekend. These events include an experiential learning showcase on the lower level of Andrews Library at 1 p.m. At 2 p.m., our Fighting Scots men's football team will take on Hiram College's Terriers at John P. Papp Stadium. And our Fighting Scots swimming and diving team are hosting a meet against Malone College in the Timken Natatorium. It's now my pleasure to invite Rabbi Joan Friedman, Lincoln Professor of Religion and Professor and Chair of the Department of History, to the podium to give our benediction. Following the benediction, please remain seated until the procession parties have exited. Again, thank you for attending this very special occasion, and go Scots!
Tevye Nemilchika, Tevye the dairyman, was never caught short by any situation without some quote from the Talmud, which he usually misquoted to comic effect. To the best of my knowledge, the Talmud does not say anything about being a college president. But it does have much to say about learning and wisdom. And for all of us who value learning and seek wisdom, it offers profound guidance. This morning, I share one of its passages with you, President McCall. I have quoted accurately, but I do confess to adding my own interpretations. Shiva dvarim b'golem v'shiva b'chacham. There are 7 qualities which characterize a boorish person, and 7 qualities which characterize a wise person. Chacham eino medaber b'fnei mishu gadol mimenu b'chochma. A wise person does not preempt the words of one greater in wisdom. We are in need of wise leadership. There will be times when the wisest leadership will lie in keeping silent and listening to the wisdom of others. Ve'eino nichnas l'toch divrei chavero. She does not interrupt the words of another. We like to think of the Academy as a model community where everyone is respectful of others. In reality, we know it's not always so. But we will be more likely to make that a reality when you, our president, lead us by modeling the civility we aspire to. And thank you in advance for modeling. Ve'eno nivhal hashiv. She's not afraid to respond forthrightly. Be our honest and straightforward leader. Shoel be'inyan u'meshiv k'alacha. She asks questions to the point and gives fitting answers. God knows we can all sometimes talk an issue to death here. Be the wise leader who recognizes when it's time to move from talking to doing. Ve'omer al rishon rishon ve'al acharon acharon. She speaks of first things first and last things last. Be the wise leader who keeps us focused on our mission. Ve'al ma shelo shama ma lo shamati. When she does not know something, she says, I do not know. We all know this, But those times when it's hardest to say, I don't know, are probably the times when it's most important to say it. Be our wise leader here too. Umode Alamet, she recognizes authentic learning. As the Supreme Court said in a very different context, you know it when you see it. Lead this college to be its most authentic self. V'chilufei begolim, and all the opposite qualities, the rabbis conclude, are found in a boorish person. President McCall, we would not be marking this occasion without already having confidence in your knowledge and your expertise. Thank you for your words just before. May God bless you with wisdom and strength to lead us together on this newest leg of the college's journey. Amen. Ken Ratzon, so may it be God's will.